Okay, let's dive into one of the greatest haunted house stories ever written, Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. Now, this isn't just your average ghost story. Nope, it's a masterclass in psychological horror. We're gonna peel back the layers and figure out what makes this book so unbelievably creepy, even today.
I mean, the book starts with this absolute gut punch of a line. It just hangs there, right? It's basically telling you from page one, forget what you think is real. We're going somewhere else entirely, a place where sanity starts to fray at the edges. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question. Is Hill House an actual, evil, supernatural place? A literal monster made of wood and nails? Or is it just a weirdly built house that acts like a mirror for the character's own fears and traumas? That's what we're here to figure out. So, to get to the bottom of this mystery, we've got to start at the beginning. Who are the unlucky people who got an invitation to this party? Let's meet the crew.
You've got Dr. Montague, the academic who's trying to prove ghosts are real. Then there's Theo, a cool, bohemian artist who also happens to be a psychic. You have Luke, the charming heir who's just kind of along for the ride. And then you have Eleanor Vance. She's spent her whole life as a shut-in, and she is just desperate, absolutely desperate to belong somewhere. Remember her. She's the key to everything.
All right, now for the main event, the house itself. You have to understand, Hill House isn't just a location in this story. It's a character, and it is a nasty one. The walls are built at weird angles, the doors don't stay open. It's designed from the ground up to make you feel off balance. And it works. Oh, it works. And things go from 0 to 100, like, fast. It starts out small, a cold spot here, a weird noise there, classic stuff. But then it gets personal. Writing appears on the walls. Doors start slamming themselves with terrifying force. By the last night, it's not just a haunting anymore. It's an all-out assault. And as all this chaos ramps up, you start to notice a pattern. Everything, and I mean everything, seems to be aimed right at Eleanor. She's the eye of the storm. And this is where that line we talked about earlier between what's real and what's in your head gets incredibly blurry. Now check this out. It's pretty wild how perfectly these two things line up. The house writes help Eleanor come home on the wall, right when Eleanor is feeling totally lost and desperate for attention. The house seems to whisper her name, just as she's haunted by guilt over her mother's death. The house tries to pull her away from the others, just as she's dreaming of finally having a home all to herself. Coincidence? So what's really going on here? Is this an evil house that found the perfect, vulnerable person to feed on? Or is Eleanor's own mind, fractured from years of trauma and loneliness, so powerful that it's literally making the walls bend and the doors slam? The genius of the book is that it never tells you. It just lets you sit with that terrifying question.
But believe it or not, this terrifying story actually has some really profound things to say about our own lives. So let's step out of the shadows for a second and look at what we can actually learn from all this.
See, the horror here isn't just one thing. It's a toxic cocktail. You've got the possibility of ghosts, sure, but that's mixed with the very real horror of what's going on inside someone's head. And then you pour in the fact that their physical environment, the house itself, is actively working against them. It's the combination that's so lethal. So, the first big takeaway, the danger of bottling things up. Eleanor's loneliness, her resentment, her guilt. She never dealt with any of it. She just pushed it down. And all that repressed emotion basically put a giant welcome mat on her back for whatever was in that house. It's a pretty powerful warning, right?
And what did Eleanor want more than anything? A home, somewhere to belong. Hill House pretended to offer her that, but it was a trap. The real lesson here is that true belonging, the kind that actually heals you, doesn't come from a place. It comes from connection with other people. This is a big one. Our surroundings have a huge impact on how we feel. The crooked, confusing layout of Hill House didn't just scare the characters, it reflected their own inner confusion and anxiety. It goes to show that the spaces we live in can either support us or, well, they can feel like they're trying to break us.
This brings us to that absolutely heartbreaking ending when she crashes the car. Did the house finally win? Did it claim her? Or was it the one and only decision Eleanor ever truly made for herself? A tragic, twisted choice to finally, permanently belong somewhere, even if that somewhere was Hill House. It's just devastating to think about.
Okay, so Eleanor's story is a massive tragedy, no doubt about it. But we don't have to take a tragic lesson from it. We can actually use her story as a roadmap for what not to do, for how to build a real sanctuary for ourselves.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. The idea of a true home has nothing to do with a building. It's about building up your own inner strength, finding your own peace, and creating real, solid bonds with other people. That's the stuff that keeps the ghosts out. So, while Hill House is this terrifying symbol of fear and isolation, let it be a reminder for all of us. The most important house we'll ever live in is the one inside our own minds. Build that one with care, make it strong, and fill it with light, because your greatest and safest sanctuary will always be you.